Hello everyone, Seraphin here, welcome back for more Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. When I last left you guys, we did a lot of wrapping up in the previous chapter. I managed to get my outfitting done this time. Didn't have as much to do as I expected, but I figure it's best to not bore you guys with it, so we're going to go ahead and move right on to Chapter 19. And what do we have in store today? Well, this is the Daein border, as we saw last time. And there are a number of dudes. Particularly, there are a lot of Raven Lagoos in this one. What are we looking at? It's Titania. Mostly Daein, but there are crows from Kilvas as well. Well, that's, Most troubling thing is King Kilvas is with them. Oh, that's not good. Compared to the other crows, the king is in a class by himself. Yep, that is definitely true. Obviously, he's no match for our king. The outcome of the battle hinges on how we deal with them. Please don't lump us together with those carrion birds. Rayson is particularly perturbed that their ravens are here. Is there any way to get them to withdraw? That would be a tremendous help. So, Janif is kind of dropping a little bit of a hint here. He's saying, well, I could go talk to him if I had to. I mean, if you want. Don't expect anything to come of it. And Rayson specifically is saying, I'm never talking to them ever again. Let's get moving. Alright, so we jump right into it. And let's see who we have to bring here. We're definitely bringing Rayson for sure. We don't need Rolf anymore. Now, we have Shinon, and he's a level 1 sniper, so he's pre-promoted. The problem is, his stats just quite aren't up to par to what they were back at the beginning of the game. His 15 skill is still pretty solid, but 13 speed, 9 strength, So, here's the thing with Shinon. He comes with A-level bows, too, so actually you can use silver bows right away if you wanted him to. His stats when he rejoins are pretty bad, but his growth rates to offset that are exceptional. And I think he's got excellent growths in every single stat, barring like maybe magic or something. So, if you really wanted to put the effort into him, and he's already got A bows, as like I said, so he requires very little investment as far as that's concerned. You could just feed him bonus experience if you wanted to use him. That being said, my bonus experience are being tied up elsewhere, so we're not doing that. And quite frankly, I just don't really need an archer at the moment. I've got Astrid if I really need to use a bow. So I don't really need Shinon. I've used him before in this game, and he's actually pretty solid. And he's got Provoke, which is kind of nice. But honestly, at this point, I'm not going to bother. But if you wanted to try him out on your playthrough, be my guest. He's not bad by any means. Just requires a little attention when you get him back. We do want Janef, because I want to bring one of the bird lagoos with me. I don't think there's a lot of stuff to steal on this map. Why don't we take a quick look, shall we? So this map's pretty long. Goes back a fair ways. The boss here looks an awful lot like Stefan, honestly. Pretty close, anyway. This guy's home. I think Stefan actually has a special conversation with him if they fight. Something about, you're way too weak to fight me, don't even bother. And he is. If Stefan actually fought this guy, he would completely ruin his day. But he's got Adept, which is a particularly nasty skill, because that means he might attack successively. And he's got a Sonic Sword, so he can retaliate at range. And his magic is almost as good as his strength, so really it's pretty comparable. He's not terribly hard, honestly, but he's not a pushover either. The worrying thing is we have Nisala on the map today. And the thing about Nisala is he is a Royal Lagoos. So he'll transform immediately. He doesn't have it right now, but he comes with a ring that lets him stay transformed permanently with no stat loss, like the Demi-Band does. What we see here, however, is that he is absurdly fast, 31 speed, 25 strength, 26 skill, 15 magic. Actually, there's a reason for that. His defenses are pretty solid, too, and 57 HP. So, yeah, he's a tough nut to crack, and this is untransformed, by the way. When he does transform, those stats will go up even further, to the tune of, I think, over 30 strength, 40 speed, I'm pretty sure. So he will double everybody on your team. No questions asked. And he has this really nasty ability called Vortex, where when he can actually attack at range. I think he's the only Lagoos that can do this. And he actually attacks like an Elwind spell from distance, which is what he uses that magic skill for. And he has Vantage, of course, so he always goes first. So yeah, this guy is not to be screwed with, and he will straight up attack you. There is no question about that. And what we need to do, actually, in this map is going to be a little tricky. What we need to do... He's going to transform right away. As you can see, his gauge is almost full. So on turn 1 of the enemy phase, he will transform right away. What we also have here are enemy ballista. I think this is the first time we're seeing these. Ballista work very similarly to how they did in some of the previous installments. They're immobile, and they need to be manned by archers. But I don't remember... It doesn't actually tell you what the stats of them are here, as far as like the damage and everything. They do a pretty decent chunk, but they only have 5 charges apiece, and I think they have 10 range, which we can generally see right here, so... That's 10 range from the archer, apparently. I thought it was from the ballista itself, but apparently it's from the archer. So that's the range of that ballista. This one here, up on a hill, that we can't easily get to, is over here, and there's a third one over here. Now, I know it's pointed this direction, but it can turn and shoot down this way as well. So we want to keep our flyers out of the way of that, unless they have the full guard like Jill does. But we also need to be careful of King Kilvas, because he will come to ruin our day if we don't find a way to deal with him. And there is a very particular way of dealing with him, and I'm going to try to do that as best I can. So what we need to do first thing, just in case anything horrible happens, is we're going to take the full guard from Marsha. I know it sounds crazy, but we need to give it to Janef. And I already gave him a Bjork guard, actually. He doesn't need that anymore. So I'm actually going to put that away and equip his full guard, because that will prevent him from getting wrecked by ballista, and it will also prevent King Nasala's vortex from affecting him. I don't believe it necessarily does super effective damage, but because it's wind, generally speaking, I do believe it does do super effective damage to flyers, which means Nasala is an amazing like anti-air Harrier unit. So we want to put that on him just in case, and so he doesn't get picked off by ballista, obviously. We got Soren and Ilyana and Mist all level 20, ready to promote any minute now. So that'll be happening this chapter with any luck. And let's go and reposition a little bit real quick here. Ike can't move, of course. You can never reposition your main character for some stupid reason. I never figured that one out. But we're going to lead the charge with our primarily melee core here, followed closely by our casters. Because again, I want to level them up as quick as I can. Rayson will need to be front and center, unfortunately. I need to get him as close to the battlefield as I possibly can. And we're gonna have Jill and Marsha over here. I'm actually debating if I want to bring Kieran or not. I'm thinking we might need to just drop him. His strength just isn't up to par, unfortunately. So why don't we go ahead and bring... Ooh, we could bring Tanith. I did deck her out with a bunch of stuff, and she might be useful for picking off those ballista quickly, so... Why don't we... You know what? Yeah, forget it. Why don't we go ahead and bring Tanith just for kicks and grins here. And we can leave her right over to the side with the rest of my flying corps. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a quick save and get right into this. This is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to try to do the same process I normally do to make this a little more manageable. We'll see how that goes. Hope they're prepared to pass into oblivion. Well, you say that. Here's King Kilvas himself. Crimean stragglers joined with an army on loan from Begnion. Keeps talking about this betrayer. I suppose they're just unlucky. Only Tabarn were here. Group this large is hard to miss. Yeah, well. You hit him from the front, fast and hard. Yeah, well. Not as if we can turn tail and run away. Well, that's true. King Kilvas and Prince Rayson used to be close friends. Did you ask him to speak to the king? Rayson's like, no, I'm not going to do it. He was most emphatic in his refusal. And the Hawks? Surely some connection can be found there. Yeah, you'd think that, but apparently they don't want to be lumped in with them. I'd rather not force the issue. Well, we might not have a choice here, Ike. Sorry to tell you. That is so very like you. Giving orders that are unpopular is often necessary. It's time to roll. Alright. So we don't have... Excuse me. Janef goes ahead and transforms right away, which is awesome. As we can see, Nasala has not transformed yet, but he's going to, and I think that steps up his movement to like 9, if I'm not mistaken. Janef's got how much? 8? I think it's 9 movement he gets. He gets 1 extra movement for being a king for some garbage reason. Even if it was only 8, he can attack up to here, or move up to here, and then attack up to that tree. So I'm going to keep that as a mental reminder here. We're not in range of him getting close to us yet, but it's going to happen pretty quick. And we want to do what we can to take care of these ballistae as soon as possible. There is also some more ravens over here, but they're not ready to transform for a while, so we're going to leave them alone. And just move up with our core here. Of course, we're going to leave Jill as close to the front and center as we can, because she's Jill and she's awesome. I think steel axe is called for here. Speaking of axes, go ahead and get one ready on Mr. Boyd as well. I like how you can actually hear the snow crunching underneath their feet, too, when they're in this map, because it's really cool. There's going to be a lot of snow going forward. Daein is a very northerly region and is very snowy, which is weird because in terms of its northerliness, it's just as far north as Crimea is, but Crimea doesn't seem to have these same problems as far as with snow. So I'm not entirely certain what that's all about, but I guess it's better not to press the issue all that much. So we're going to go ahead and put Janef here. Now, I did go ahead and give the boots to Rayson, so now he has 7 movement instead of 5. And he flies, which is very important. Let's make sure he's not in range of the ballista before I go too much further. Okay, he's not good. Janef is, but he's got the full guard, so I think he'll be fine. And again, we need to coax King Kilvas to moving toward us, if possible. It's going to be a level up for Rayson. He's probably just going to get luck and maybe resistance. Oh, and HP and magic. Alright. Oh, speed. Cool. No resistance, but I'll take speed. Alright, so again, I think King Kilvas here. He moves at least that far, I know for a fact. So if we put Janef here, that will be in range. And I don't think that's in range of this Wyvern Lord. No, it is just outside. So the Wyverns won't bug him. The Ballista might shoot at him. I don't know that this one will. This one definitely will, I'm pretty sure. But then King Kilvas will come for him. He's going to double him because he doubles everything. But I think Janef is hardy enough with 12 res and 39 HP that he can take a round from King Kilvas. I guess we'll go ahead and find out if that's the case or not. Alright, let's go ahead and do this, shall we? Let's put him right here, yeah? Yep, perfect. I think he should be okay. And then who we got left? Oh, we got a bunch of people left, duh. Move up our cavalry. We just need Oscar and Astrid nowadays, apparently. Who knew? And then Marsha will fly over this direction. She does not have ballista protection, so we probably shouldn't put her too close to that. Jill can take a hit from it, no problem. She's got so much defense, it won't matter. It might do a couple points, but it won't be significant. And then we'll put Tannis just behind them. She has that reinforced skill, which is really neat. So we could use meat shields if we wanted to, but we don't need to necessarily. So King Kilvas transforms here. First ballista going for Jill. Oh, it did a lot more than I expected it to. Still, that wasn't too bad, all things considered. I think she'll be fine. How much was that? 13? Pretty solid. Of course, this blade does nothing to her, and she doubles the guy in return. Blades are really heavy. Myrmidon's generally not that strong. So they tend to be a little slowed down as a result of that. And now she has D level and axes already. It's Ballista's going for Janef. Takes whopping 3 damage from that. So it seems the Ballista have 18 might. Which is increased substantially when they're targeting a flying foe. I think it's doubled. So that means it did 36 damage against Jill. Yeah, that makes about... She has 23 defense, right? Yep, so that's exactly why that works. So 18 might on the Ballista, we can surmise from the simple mathematical situation there. You see King Kilvas there is an interesting shade of blue for a crow, which is kind of unusual, but... King of Crows, do you seriously think to betray your fellow Lagoos? I don't know if he kills Janef or not, I don't think he does. No, he does 18 damage to him, that's fine. But of course Janef can't retaliate because most Lagoos don't have range capabilities. King Nasala is pretty scary. We gotta make sure we don't mess with him more than we have to. But what we need to do now is actually we talk to him with Janef. This is gonna be a little strange. We don't recruit him or anything. You egg-stealing snake. Well, that's not nice. You are his eyes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's correct. You Hawks rescued Rayson, didn't you? It all worked out in the end. What's the problem? I don't see anything wrong here. I'd like you to repeat those words to the prince's face. Wait, what? Raisin's here? What? Bjork, leading his army, helped him escape Serenus Forest. Rescued Leanne, too. And then this puts off Nasala quite a bit. He finds out Leanne is alive. He should have known all that, to be completely honest. Like, who else would have the power to make that happen? You need to fly over there and talk to the prince. If you don't do it, I'm gonna know that you really are the enemy and report back to King Tabarn. Uh-oh. What to do, he says. Now, we could attack him, which would be stupid, but, so we're not gonna do that. We can't do anything else with JNF, really, so we're just gonna park him right here. He's not gonna... Well, again, those ballistas really don't pose much of a threat to him. So I'm not too concerned about that. And those wyverns are still out of range. So now what's gonna happen is Nasala's not gonna actively attack us anymore. What he's going to do instead is he's going to go look for Raisin. He's going to try to find Raisin and talk to him. So in order to do that, we need to actually put Raisin in his range so we can go talk to him. But I want to pick off this ballista first, so nothing bad comes of that. What we're going to do real quick, though... Where is Mist? Oh, there she is. She's a tiny little child. It's hard to find her on the map. We're going to go ahead and heal up Jill, because she took a beating a little bit last round. And we're going to send her up to take care of that archer. Hey, promoted Mist. I did strategically give her 89 out of 100 experience to make this happen. So now we get promoted Mist, which is great because she's going to get a horse. And then we'll have a much more mobile healer. In addition to the fact that she has more magic and can use physic from a longer range. Yeah. She gets some nice stat bonuses, nothing spectacular. 2 strength, 1 skill. Her skill's still below 10, which is hilarious. But now we have a promoted Mist, which is always good. 19 magic's pretty solid. 21 speed's also very good. 10 strength, though. She's not going to be doing a whole lot of damage with that. She can use swords now for what it's worth, and she already has D rank in them. So what we could do is forge her a quality steel sword and give that for her to use. If we wanted to raise up her sword rank, which, you know what, it's kind of fun to do, so I like doing that. Alright, so what we're going to do now... we need Soren to get some XP. He's pretty close. Actually, Ilyana's really close to leveling. Why don't we let her pick this guy off? Soren can't get any closer. Well, you know what? He can have the warrior. That's fine. I'm okay with him. I'm okay with letting him have that one. He's level 20 also, so he needs, I think, like 93 XP to promote. We'll make it happen this turn. Or this level, rather. Then we can have everybody in our team promoted, and that'll be nice. We get another free killer axe, which I'm sure... Oh, Kieran's not here. Alright, who else can I hit? Not really anybody, but... Go ahead and send Ike after this schmuck. And absolutely make destructive pieces out of him. Armor Slayer. Were you expecting Gatry to be here? Because he's not. I feel bad not deploying Gatry. He's a very solid armored unit, but he wasn't getting speed like I needed him to, so... Even with the Night Ward, which is really upsetting. Hey, well, let's go ahead and take care of... Who do I want to take care of the ballistician here? I guess we just send Boyd in there, right? Or I could have Jill do it. Not Jill, excuse me, Nephany. I could have Jill do it. Not enough damage with just the javelin. That's a bummer. You know what? Yeah, let's have Jill go do it. What do these guys all have for weapons? Iron blades. She'll probably double most of them and take very little in return. That is a bow on a sniper. So that'll be a total of 30 attack. Jill will take 7 damage from him. 13 from the ballista, that's 20. She'll have 17 left. I don't think any of these guys can even hurt her. No, not this guy, even with Weapon Triangle, does not land a single damage on her. So she will be fine. What about this guy up here? Does this ballista have enough range? No, it does not. So let's go ahead and bring Jill up there. Because I like training Jill. She's a lot of fun. And we'll just deal with this ballistician here. It's funny, because there actually is a real ballistician class in Shadow Dragon, where it's just people move around and they have permanent... Oh, there's a crit. Permanent ballistas that they wheel around with. They have terrible movement. It's like 4, but they have 10 range all the time. And it's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. They're pretty... They're kind of... They're not, like, super useful, but they're kind of nice. Nice to have, anyway. Alright, so we need to make sure that Rayson is in Nasala's range so that he goes and talks to him, but we want to make sure he's out of the ballista range. So I think what we do is we'll do a quick dance for Mist so she can heal up somebody else. And then we'll put Rayson just a few more points ahead so he can go be in Nasala's range. Actually, he doesn't have the Night Ring or anything, so he can't move any further. But he is still in Nasala's range to talk to him, so that's fine. And we'll move up Astrid over here, I think. Well, who else needs some healing? I guess Neffany does. Let's heal her up real quick. And we'll put her in the front lines as well. Lots of sword guys. I'm sure she'll be fun at taking out those. We're going to keep Mist out of harm's way for the time being because I didn't actually give her a sword to use. In hindsight, I probably could have, but I didn't think about it. Steel Lance should be good. And we'll put... Let's have Boyd take out Mr. Lance guy over here with a hand at... Oh, he doesn't quite do it. Interesting. You'd think Boyd, with all his epic strength, would have no problem doing this, but apparently he's not as strong as I thought he was. If I'd given him a short axe, it probably would have been fine, but as far as I know, the only short axe I have is almost broken. Sorry, he can keep that. We'll go ahead and... Now that that ballista's gone, we can move up Marcia and Tanith a little closer. So we'll move Marcia up here. I think Steel Lance is called for here. We have Oscar as well. No reason he can't come reinforce. And then Tanith, of course. It would be incredibly stupid of that Lance guy to go for her, but you never know. Move up Ilyana, and of course Astrid will be right up here. We're gonna give her an axe to use because I forgot I gave her those. Alright, so the sniper's gonna go for Jill, and again I think he does what, 7 damage? Yeah, but he didn't even hit, so who cares? Jill is surprisingly dodgy for a wyvern, and I'm actually really okay with it. We're gonna let all these sword guys break themselves on her. She does not double this guy. She's gonna double the ones with the blades, probably, but not that guy. He just had a steel sword. That's gonna be another 13 damage. Nope, she dodged that one. Sweet. Perfectly okay when Jill starts dodging everything. This guy she's gonna double, almost for sure. Unless his speed got upgraded between... Oh, jeez, really? She can't even hit the guy. Okay, that... kind of weird. She did double him, she just didn't hit him. That's annoying. She hit the guy that was faster, but not the guy that was weighed down by the giant blade. Yeah, what do I know? Well, Oscar does not double that guy. Apparently he's just a little bit too slow, my Oscar, right now. Which is annoying. Tink. That guy's a little too fast. I guess the longsword doesn't weigh as much as I thought it did either. I thought it weighed quite a bit. And then, of course, Nasala goes to talk to Rayson. Hey, buddy, how's it going? It's almost like nothing bad ever happened. Look at you. You look sharp, kid. Go away. Oh, so you can talk. Rayson is not pleased to see Nasala again. I've been called brazen before. Some have gone so far as to say shameless. I mean, my ears are closed to you. We're friends, are we not? Oh yes, friends! Such good friends, you sold me to that wretched sack of lard! Best words ever. I didn't really sell you, besides I plan on rescuing you right away. You were just impatient and flew away on your own, so it's really your fault. Well, maybe. I mean, it was I who was in the wrong, on all accounts. No one was hurt. Come on, smooth those ruffled feathers. He's talking about Leanne again. Tabarn's attendant told me. That's wonderful news. Suppose that if you hadn't deceived me and taken me into the forest, we might not have discovered her. I will forgive you just this once. With conditions. And Nasala's like, what? Pull your troops from this battle and never enter into combat against your fellow Laguz. That's asking too much. What will you do then? Will you continue to fight the army to which I am in service? Very well, you win. I'll leave and take my soldiers with me. So that's the whole point, by the way. We talked to him with Janeth, and he goes and talks to Rayson, and now he's going to leave. Along with all of his Raven friends. So we're friends again? Come to Kilvas for a visit, will you? he's very easy to forgiving to people. I mean, I guess that makes sense. He's a really kind-hearted natured guy, so... As for Tabarn, I will speak with him. You need not worry. Because Tabarn would tear your freaking beak off. So this is another cool thing. If you manage to pull this off, getting Nasala to leave this way by talking to Rayson, he actually gives Rayson something. It's possible to make him leave by other means. His gauge does run out, as you saw. It went down by 1 tick every turn, which is... So if you wait 20 turns, he'll untransform and you can lay into him. Still really hard, but if you do it this method, he does give Rayson something. It's an I'm sorry present. It's called a Night Ring. So this is actually... You really want this for Rayson. It makes things so much easier. I tried it, and it proved to be quite useful. Uh-huh. Don't get killed. If anything were to happen to you, Neolucci would never let me hear the end of it. So we get the Night Ring for Rayson. What does this do? It allows Rayson to move again after he dances, or rather sings for somebody. And because I gave him extra movement, that's going to be really handy, because he can move up, sing, and then keep moving. Listen to me, Dark Wings, we're leaving. So now all the crows turn green, which is unfortunate, because now they're going to get attacked by all the Daein troops. But these wyverns are just a little bit too slow to attack them. And the ballista, because they're untransformed, they don't count as flying units for some stupid reason, so the ballista don't do super effective damage against them. And now they're going to try to fly away as best they can. I think they just fly away on the sides of the map or something. But now we don't need to deal with them. You might be thinking, oh, you're wasting XP. It's like, yeah, but it was worth getting the Night Ring, so I don't care. I don't know why that guy is wasting time healing instead of just leaving, like that guy just did. Yeah, see, they just fly to the edge of the map and they just take off. This guy's going to do it too, I bet. No, not quite. He couldn't quite make it, apparently. That guy did. And that guy's out, and that guy's out. I think there's actually... I think you get another bonus, too, if all of them survive and leave. Might be tricky, though, because these ones are still here. They're going to transform next turn, though. So if they survive, they're going to be much harder to... That guy's got to steal... Why did he move in range of a guy with a bow? That was just silly of you, sir. But as you can see, we have a lot fewer guys to deal with on the map now. That being said, we're going to go ahead and clean up the remainder of these guys in the next episode. I think now is a good place to stop. So join me next time for the conclusion of Chapter 19. There's not much else to do now that we've cleaned up most of the battlefield. So it should be pretty easy going, and I will see you next time, everybody. So feel free to leave a like and a comment on this video if you feel so inclined. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. I would very much appreciate it. And until then, I'll see you next time. This has been Seraphin. Stay classy, internets.